Welcome to our Daily Zohar. This shi'ur, this segment of the Daily Zohar, is dedicated to the Refuah Shlema, speedy recovery of Chaya Zoya bat Devorah, Orit bat Marusa, Avigal ben Yael, and Bechor ben Penier, to the Parnasa, Shefa, and abundance of Ilan ben Zion, Rachamim ben Eliezer, Fegel Sarah bat Reuven Leiv, and Ari ben Bechor. ולהבדיל לעילוי נשמת יוסף בן שרה, מרים בת פרחה, רחמים בן משיח. The Zohar says, sit down. The Zohar says, we learned that on that day, in other words, on Shabbat, the Torah gets crowned by that day. HaTorah mit'ateret bo. These are all spiritual examples. There's more abstract, but the Torah crowns itself with that crown that's called Shabbat. B'chol elu ha-mitzvot. And how? What's the crown made of? With the mitzvot aseh, lo ta'aseh, gzerot, all the decrees in the Torah. We don't view them as separate entities. 248 mitzvot aseh, 365 mitzvot lo ta'aseh. People call them positive commandments, negative commandments. That's a mistake. There's no such thing as a negative commandment or positive commandment. There is a commandment. There's to do and not to do. Not everything. If your attitude is that mitzvot lo ta'aseh, the 365 mitzvot lo ta'aseh, are negative, so therefore it will be only rational to make them positive and actually to violate them. So there's no such thing as negative mitzvot. There are mitzvot. And they're not two different entities. There are 613 mitzvot. It's one body. The Torah itself is one unit. If we miss one letter from the Torah, if one letter is not intact, the whole Torah is pasul. Why? Because it has to be one unit. That becomes the crown. This is the Torah. And how? Also through all the mitzvot that a person does and everything on Shabbat. And when we say there are 70 different shivim panim laTorah, 70 different ways to interpret the Torah and so on. 70 refers to Shivim Amim. There is 70 different roots of nations, not only 70 nations, but roots of nations in the world, so on and so forth. There are also 70 branches of light in the spiritual world, which shine upon the Torah from every single side. There is all the different interpretations of the Torah become a light that shine light on it. And what's the idea of shining light? If I have an object and I have one source of light, on the dark side of that, there's going to be a shadow. If I'm having lights from 4 directions, I might have less shadows, but maybe 4 of them could still. This is from everywhere. There is light everywhere. There's no place in the universe that there is no light of Torah, that there is a shadow there. The Torah is not there. That's why when we say we learn Torah, we need to bring upon the light. There's to remove the darkness, to let the light of the Torah shine and guide us and create a clarity of a vision in the world. We'll see everything the way it should be. That could be done only through the Torah. So that there's 70 different branches of light that come and shine upon that. And lucky he's the person who saw those branches that come from every, there is the trunk, then there is the main branches, and then the secondary branches. You are lucky if you're able to see that. I mean, Mira, who could see such an awesome, such a wonderful sight? And there are 5 that stands inside the tree. And everything is dependent upon those those internal branches. Lucky was the person who saw those gates opened up from every side, and they all shine with splendor, and they light everything with that unstoppable, continuous light that comes. This world is dark. We need to open the gates and allow the light to penetrate. When we learn Torah, when we keep Shabbat, and this is, when does the light comes out to the world? On Shabbat. Why? Because on Shabbat, when we keep the Shabbat, we have a chance to show how things really get done by themselves in the presence of God. He takes care of everything. I might be mistaken to think that actually people do things and they generate things on their own, and they are the ones who generate their wealth and income and so on and so on. But that's not true. You want to see the real thing? You look at it on Shabbat. You sit down and everything comes up from above. That is opening the gates. You need to be very lucky to want to open your eyes to see those lights. And to see the light, that's what it means to be enlightened. You understand what everything is. You're not dumb in terms of like closed. You don't understand anything. Not dumb in terms of your IQ. Dumb in terms of like closed-minded. To open it up. You're enlightened. You see the light when all of a sudden it's like you get it. You look at this, you get it. You see the meaning and you understand the meaning in everything that is out there. And then you understand that everything is good. There could not be anything that comes from Hashem that is bad. People could generate bad things, but they only generate bad actions or things, or whatever it is, only because they haven't seen the light, because they haven't connected themselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to God. Because when you do, you cannot do bad. Because there's no such thing as bad that comes from God. When people are bad or they do bad things or bad actions, it means that in that action that they did not allow God to reflect from within on them. That's why it comes out bad. When one person hurts another person, his action was missing. It was a godless action. There was no light in it. So you need to open. That's why the whole salvation of the world depends on the Jews keeping Shabbat. When you keep Shabbat and you're able to show, but not doing anything, show that God runs the world. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. You open the doors of lights, the flood of light to everybody. Then the world will be fixed. Then there will be salvation. Not only to us, but the whole entire world. Because not realizing that God is God, that is slavery. Salvation is to realize that there is God in the world. And He takes care of everything. And everything that He does is good. That comes on Shabbat. Shabbat is a main vehicle, is a key to open those gates of light to shine on the world. You think about what it is. Shabbat is not just another day. It's powerful. And then, when those gates opened up, Kol Karuz, there is an announcement that comes out. And this voice says, It'oreru Kedoshim Elyonim. Awaken the holy ones from above. Those who are not Hashem, Chaz v'Shalom. Those who are angels, everybody. Hit'oreru, awaken. Who? Ha'am HaKadosh, the holy nation. Hanivchar, that was chosen. Lemala ve'lemata. Both above and on earth. Both in heaven and in earth. Am Yisrael was chosen. Am Yisrael did not create God. Am Yisrael was chosen by God. And what you should do when you awaken? Am Yisrael, what you should do. Oreru simcha lifnei adonechem. Awaken joy in front of your master. That's why a person is not allowed to be sad on Shabbat. That's why we are not allowed to sit in mourning on Shabbat. That's why you're not allowed to show signs of mourning on Shabbat. You're not allowed to cry on Shabbat. Because on Shabbat there's no room for sadness. It has to be joy. If you always wondered why, that is the reason why. Person has to do, because simcha, as we explained, the joy allows you to connect yourself to Ribono Shel Olam. Sadness separates you. Sadness empties you, constricts you. Joy expands. That's why when you laugh like this. And when you cry like that. You need to rejoice on God and awaken that we call simcha. Now you might understand why we call it simchat Torah, the joy in the Torah. As we speak, the Torah is coming, so excuse us, we have to stand for the Torah as we're speaking. You see? Nothing happens for nothing. There's always a reason for something. As we speak, the Torah comes. I don't think it will be. That's perfect timing, already. So that's Simchat Torah, the joy in the Torah. It's a wonderful, wonderful concept. And now, Hitoreru, not only enjoy, Hitoreru, awaken, besimcha shlema, that it's going to be complete, not just on the surface. Like people say, how are you? Baruch Hashem. You know, it's like you say Baruch Hashem, it's like somebody's pulling teeth. Baruch Hashem, it's okay, you know. It's a big party. Simcha shlema. There is not going to be any doubt in your simcha. Don't feel that you need to, I must be happy. You know. Shalem, complete, both internal and external. Simcha shlema, awaken that complete joy, that perfect. Hizdamnu b'shalosh seudot. Make a zimun, join together. Come enjoy the meals, the 3 meals of Shabbat. Shalosh shelavot, the shalosh seudot of the fathers. And the Sidurim have the L'Shem Yichud. And it's good to say it. L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu B'Shchinta, and so on and so forth. Seudat Erev Shabbat Amiyuchesed LaAvraham. The night is for Avraham. The midday is for Yitzchak, because it's Dinim. And Seudat Shlishit Keneged Yaakov Avinu, Asher Miteka Gevurot, and so on and so forth. And we say it. And because of that, every Yeshem Yechud, there's a different merit. One should need Sol Mechevlo Shel Mashiach, and on and on and on. It's good to say it. You find it in your Sidurim, right before your meal. And that is called Hizdamnu Lekriyat HaEmunah. Bring yourself about to read and to understand by the meals that you're sitting down and it's providing you from Hashem. It's called meals of faith. These are the meals of faith. How? Because everybody needs to cook something. And you said everything is from Hashem. That by eating the Shalosh Seudot, you're showing your faith. And having faith in Hashem is Simchat HaSimchot, is the joy of all joys. When you have Emunah, you have Simcha. Ashrei Chelkechem Israel. Lucky are you, the Jews, who you were married and were chosen for that thing. Ashrechem ba'olam hazeh. You're lucky in this world. Ve'ashrechem ba'olam haba. This is the joy of your inheritance. Yerusha ilanu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the inheritance of the Torah. Ve'al zeh katuv, and for that it says, Beini uven bnei Yisrael. It's between me and Am Yisrael. What? The simcha. Which simcha? Simchat Torah. Simchat HaEmunah, Simchat HaOlamim. Eternal joy, the joy of Torah, the joy of faith. It says, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. Worship Hashem with joy. Rejoice in Him. Rejoice in the Torah. Giluba. There are different, they say that the Eskimos have like 7 different names, I don't know, whatever, to describe white, or snow, or 30 days, whatever it is. We also have different names or different levels of joy. There is Rina, Gila, Ditza, Simcha, and so on and so forth. Ahava, Achva, Vereut. These are all levels of joy. These are all levels of interaction between a husband and wife. There is also interaction between Am Yisrael and the Torah. Shabbat Shalom. There is also levels of interaction between Am Yisrael and the Torah and Am Yisrael and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You have to do it besimcha, you have to do it be'ahava. I wish all of you Simchat Olam, Ahava, Shalom, Achva, Vereut, and we shall all be rejoicing in the Torah. Shabbat Shalom to all.